Stories of a hairy, forest-dwelling bipedal primate have persisted for centuries in British Columbia, but perhaps more important than whether it exists is what it symbolizes. From a lookout above the Harrison River Valley in southwestern British Columbia, dense forest stretches all the way to the snow-capped Coast Mountains on the Pacific shore. Thick with towering western red cedars, hemlock and Sitka spruce trees, the wilderness continues almost uninterrupted all the way north to Alaska. Beyond the roads and hiking trails, the terrain soon becomes impassable, punctuated by steep mountains that plunge into glacier-carved lakes. This remote valley, 130 kilometers east of Vancouver, conjures an ancient land filled with mystery and possibility, and some believe it's home to the world's most famous cryptid, Sasquatch, Canada's Bigfoot.
I can say for sure that they are real. I have a feeling that there has to be some truth behind it, and there are a lot of stories. Especially here we have a very rich mythology.
There have been 37 notable Sasquatch sightings near the town of Harrison Hot Springs since 1900. Called Bigfoot in the United States and Yeti or Metal Kangmi, Wild Man of the Snows in the Himalaya, Sasquatch is a tall, hairy, bipedal, primate-like creature of disputed existence. Regular sightings have kept the popular legend alive, but now it's being told from an indigenous perspective. The change is driven by public interest in the idea of a Sasquatch rooted in spirituality and symbolism, rather than sensationalism. The creature is considered sacred to West Coast First Nations, particularly the Stylies, who have lived in the Harrison River Valley for at least 10,000 years. Long before TV shows such as Animal Planet's Finding Bigfoot sensationalized the pursuit of the creature, the stylists passed down songs and stories about Sasquatch, a supernatural Slolicum or shapeshifter that protects the land and people. In fact, Sasquatch is the anglicized version of Saskets, which means hairy man in Halkemalen, the stylish upriver dialect.
The word comes from a mountain that's called Saskatchewan, the place where the Sasquatch gather. Everybody paid reverence and honor to the emblem of our nation, which is a Sasquatch.
In 1929, J. W. Burns, a Canadian government agent, published an article in Maclean's magazine titled "Introducing BC's Hairy Giants," which he wrote based on stories shared by stylist community members he had befriended. The article presented Sasquatch to the rest of Canada, and the tale took off from there. This intersection of Sasquatch as symbolic totem and Sasquatch as living primate has taken the story beyond mere speculation in Harrison Hot Springs. The town has become a magnet for those seeking answers, like the 26% of Canadians that believe cryptids such as Sasquatch are definitely or probably real, according to an Angus Reid Institute public opinion poll from 2016.
People literally come here on a pilgrimage, and more than you might think. Your first thought is, these visitors are gonna be crazy, but they are not. They are like ordinary people, and some of their stories are pretty compelling.
I accept the possibility that the Sasquatch may turn out to be nothing more than mythology and folklore. and that alone makes it worth looking into.
If Sasquatch is real, Steinberg believes it's an unclassified primate, possibly Gigantopithecus blacki, an extinct ape from southern China that could have crossed the Bering Land Bridge and remained concealed in North America's vast boreal forest. But the fact that no one has produced credible documentation of Sasquatch bothers him. Ultimately, the burden of proof lies in DNA, he said.
Science needs what science has always demanded: a body of piece of body. Sasquatch, if it exists, is a symbol that there is still wilderness out there. We haven't tamed everything.
Sasquatch Provincial Park. Under the dim green glow of the coastal rainforest, it's easy to see how someone could mistake a mossy stump for a humanoid lifeform. It's a psychological effect called pareidolia, seeing an object where there is none, such as Jesus on a piece of toast. This phenomenon could explain the sightings like the dark figure spotted close to a campground outhouse in 2010, or a purported Sasquatch that caused a group to flee another campground in 1994.
My first response was that people around here used to smoke too much weed and see big airy guys. Out in the bush, there are a number of times when your hair stands up. There are areas that you just feel you're not supposed to be there.
My grandpa used to say, the Slalicum is a shapeshifter and can walk in the two realms, the spiritual and the physical. That's why you'll never catch him. I think it resonates because all cultures in the world have something like a supernatural being, and through time and evolution and humanness, we've lost a lot of these things. You don't want to have people looking at you in a certain way. Then again, I thought, swim, es que huele well, which in our language means you are proof of you are, where you come from, and what you belong to. If you are able to see him, hear him, or see his footprints, there's some time of good fortune that's going to come your way because he's making sure that you know that he's there and that you still have to live by the rules. They live off the land, they live on the land, they are the land.